Alrighty, guys. I think we are live. Let's give it a minute for people to chime in. We need to connect to YouTube. One sec. Hemsworth, how's it going, man? I gotta connect my YouTube account to actually be able to comment back. Give me a second. Oh, it won't let me do it. Crypto World, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. I can see your comments, but I can't actually write back. I guess my Google account's messing up. Anyway, let's give it a couple seconds. Let some more people join. I actually have a ton of stuff to talk about today. There's been a lot going on, a lot of updates. Excited to kind of share what's going on with the mantra community and the Sherpas. I got a big list of stuff, but let's give it some time for people to hop in so they can actually get some questions answered live. Let's see. Deadeye, how's it going? How's your day been so far? Raymond, hello, hello. Oh, I see people forwarding the link in some of the Telegram channels and Discord. Let's try to get all the Sherpas in there. Deadeye, glad to hear it, man. Where are you coming? Where are you guys calling in from? Where's everyone calling in from? Which part of the world? So you can see I'm at my house in Hong Kong. It's about 10 p.m. here. Let's see. All right, just 1 or 2 more minutes. Let the people join. India, Bangalore. Nice. I am in Hong Kong, Deadeye. Living in Hong Kong for almost 7 years now. But traveling a lot. Recently been on the road a bit and actually headed to Japan, to Tokyo on Friday for Chinese New Year with my wife, which we're really looking forward to some Japanese food. Tokyo is awesome. Tim, how's it going? Guess, B-Tune, GMGM from Berlin. Awesome. So we have India, we got Germany. Thank you. This is like my little study area. I got a lot of bullshit, to be honest. But I'm a collector. Habibi Tim, are you in the UAE? Brazil. Awesome. We got 3 continents now. Asia, Europe, and South America. Angie, Switzerland. Nice to see you too. People from all over. This is awesome. I love when there's people calling in from all over the place. It makes it a lot more fun and engaging. Nancy, we're going to start in just 1 minute. Let's give it literally 30 more seconds and then we will kick it off. Hamza, hello, hello. GM, Gibraltar, C. Dominici, good to see you. Shinobi, yo. Trying to say hi to everyone. And Hazel, what's up? Alrighty, let's kick it off. So I got a bunch of stuff. I normally don't even prepare for these type of things. Yes, I believe it is recorded and you'll be able to see it back on YouTube channel as well. Normally I don't really prepare too much, but there's actually a ton of stuff to talk about. Bubba Cool, what's good? So gonna kind of kick it off and talk a little bit about what's going on. Obviously a lot. So first off, this is the first time we've done a community call and update in a bit. Last year at the end of it, particularly, we're doing a lot of AMAs and Twitter Spaces. We'll definitely be doing a lot more. We actually have a lot of AMAs coming up, which is good. Really excited to kind of get the word out about what we've been building under the hood for the last 18, 24 months. I would say we've been relatively quiet for a while, and now it's time to kind of really get out and go. I think we feel internally that the headwinds that we've been facing both as an industry and as a team and as a project have really shifted to tailwinds. And we have a lot of firepower behind us right now, and we're super excited to kind of bring that and deliver the new mantra to you guys, and what we've been cooking up under the hood for a while. So really excited to share some of the stuff with you. We're going to be doing this regularly, at least once a month live on video, but we're going to be doing Twitter Spaces and other types of AMAs as well. Just seeing some more people join. Estoy muy contento con el proyecto. Saludos desde Colombia. Saludos desde Hong Kong. Ivan, nice to meet you. Encantado. I can speak a little bit of Espanol. I lived in Spain for a bit. But anywho, so I'll get straight into it. First thing, super excited about the new progress and kind of the take up we've had on the Mantra Finance staking page, which is our permissioned DeFi on-chain protocol. We're seeking licensing in the UAE, as some of you guys are aware of, under VARA, which is the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. We're not licensed yet, so that's why some of our UAE friends have not been onboarded. We're following and abiding by relevant regulations in that jurisdiction, but it is a jurisdiction we're really excited about. The UAE and the GCC and MENA in general is a really amazing place for crypto right now. So we're super excited about getting that across the line. But in the meantime, we are doing our best in terms of best practices for KYC, AML, and even with that, which for most crypto native people might be a point of friction, we've seen significant volumes and significant uptake of the new staking protocols. So we have staking pools of Ohm on 3 chains: Ethereum, BNB chain, and Polygon. And we've seen a lot of staking migration happen. So initially it was a little bit slow, and then in the new year we've had, I believe, over 80 million ohms staked across the 3 chains on the Mantra Finance platform so far, which has been amazing. I think even more coming. So we've been excited to see that uptake, and I think we have several hundred stakers now, and I think more than nearly 1,000 in the queue waiting to get on board, which is awesome. It's been good to see so much participation, so much so that we actually had to propose to increase the rewards on the staking pools because the rewards got drained so much. So that's been awesome to see, and obviously you guys voted for that on the DAO, so that's been cool to see some community participation there. So that's awesome. So really happy about the staking on Mantra Finance. If you haven't done it, go make sure you onboard there now to be able to stake your Ohm across 3 chains. There's also 2 relevant exchanges that do on-chain staking with us, Binance as well as Ascendex. So you can do on-chain staking via the exchange custody, which is cool. What else has been popping? So there's been a lot of chatter in the Telegram and Discord about the Soma token. So Somas are US permission DeFi protocol that's licensed under FINRA with our partner Tritorian Capital. So Tritorian Capital is a US broker dealer. They provide the licensing infrastructure for all the activities that we're providing on Soma platform. So as many of you know, Ohm stakers will be entitled to a significant portion of Soma tokens via some sort of claim drop. So if you're an Ohm staker, you'll be able to go and claim 4% of the Soma token supply, which is at present in the millions of dollars of value if you go and onboard onto Soma platform as a staker. So there'll be a historical snapshot taken based off of historical participation on the various different staking pools that we had, both on the Mantra DAO side as well as I think people will be asking about Zenom, as well as the new staking products. So all of these will be taken into consideration. We don't want to leave anyone behind, but there's also going to be forward-looking considerations. And what I mean by that is we want to have continual reasons for people to effectively buy, hold, and stake Ohm. And one of those will be a future airdrop of Soma, which we believe will accrue significant amounts of value, which will continue to drive value back into the Ohm token and provide reasons for it to be held. So Abdul, you just asked about how will the transition affect the tokenomics of Ohm, and are there any changes planned? Great question. I will cover that significantly on this call because there's a lot of stuff to go over. So I will get to that in just a bit. Actually, literally, it's kind of up next. So obviously with the Soma token is undergoing a Regulation CF offering, which is effectively a private placement under US securities rules that's retail friendly for both US and international folks. It is something that most, if not all, projects in the crypto space cannot even do because they don't have the requisite licensing. But because of Tritorian's licensing and our partners' licensing, we can do some pretty interesting stuff in terms of regulated capital formation and tokenized offerings in the United States, both for retail and for institutionally friendly offerings. So that's definitely one of the unique selling points of Soma. But anyway, the CF is live. You can go into the Soma Telegram and learn more about how to participate on that. A few more months before that will close officially, and then we'll move to like launching the tokenized asset DEX and equities trading and things of this nature. So a lot of stuff coming in the future. Pretty excited about that, and obviously make sure to go check out more about Soma and what's happening with the Soma token and how you can participate as an Ohm staker and holder. Some more questions from Hemworth. Specific types of RDA-based that Mantra's targeting for integration. We'll definitely talk about that as well today. How does the Mantra chain governance structure impact user participation consensus building? I'll try to talk a little bit about that. Does the recent governance change the roadmap? Definitely. But I'll talk about that too in detail. What sparked the decision to upgrade Ohm to the Mantra chain L1 token? That's actually a good question. I can really quickly talk on that because I think it's actually next on my list, literally, so very good timing. We actually didn't decide to do that. A community member issued a proposal on the DAO. Shout out to the King, one of our community members from a long time ago, OG member, who effectively put forward the proposal on the Mantra DAO and asked for Ohm to become the main L1 token for Mantra Chain. So for those who are newer to the project, initially there was going to be effectively 2 tokens, and we had reasons for doing this. But due to some changes and obviously due to what the community decided, they felt that it was a good idea to have Ohm be the preeminent and only token for the ecosystem on the Mantra side of things. And it was pretty much nearly unanimous in terms of the voting on the DAO. We had great turnout. One of the better turnouts we've had ever, I think, on a DAO vote, which has been awesome to see. We definitely had a lot of chatter in the Telegram community, asking a lot of great questions, learning about what this will actually mean for Ohm holders and how it will actually impact you guys. And we had obviously thought about this when we went into making it 2 tokens, and there were specific reasons why we did that. There's a lot of benefits of having 1 token. Obviously, you can concentrate everything into one. You can drive all the utility value accrual and kind of economic substance into one particular protocol. Obviously, the idea of moving from an Ethereum governance token into an L1, the relative value of those 2 different models is significantly different. So we do think that being able to transition into this is a natural upgrade for the ecosystem. It's a natural upgrade for the token, a natural upgrade for the community, and will give us a lot of support to play with in terms of developing the things that we want to develop in our ecosystem, which is obviously heavily RWA focused, heavily leaning into regulation and compliant use cases, but obviously with Web3 at its core with respect to like on-chain transactions, on-chain everything effectively. Like we believe in a future that's self-custodial, it's on-chain, but at the same time, not having to forego the benefits of having oversight and the ability to interact with the real world. So the real world, whether it's real world assets, your bank account, other types of functionality from that perspective. So that's really kind of why I think that in general is important. By the way, there's way too many questions. I don't know how to answer all these in time, but I'll try to get to as many as possible. But anyway, so in terms of the upgrade on the token, and we do consider this to be an upgrade, like not necessarily migration. We're not deprecating on Ethereum. We're just enhancing its functionality by moving it to a Cosmos L1 that we've been developing for some time now. The DAO basically voted, as I mentioned, unanimously to migrate or upgrade this token to Cosmos and to the mainnet chain. And we're going to have to obviously update the tokenomics accordingly. So Mantra on Ethereum, BNB, and Polygon had effectively a cap supply of 888 million tokens. We've nearly issued them entirely. I think about 90+% is in circulation, which is awesome. And by the way, John Kelvin, have you, if you've logged in, have you Have you been KYC'd and approved and whitelisted? Because that could be why you can't stake, because you do need to be permission to stake. That could be why. So anyway, so we have this existing supply of 888 million. We are going to update the tokenomics, and that's something that we'll be proposing to you guys. We've been working on it for some time, but something we'll be proposing to you guys next week. So we'll share a community proposal, but I can just generally walk you through the idea here. So we'll effectively be creating new supply on the mainnet chain. We'll have an ability for Ohm holders and stakers and participants on the Ethereum side to move over to the mainnet Cosmos chain. This would be something that will give token holders a benefit. So there would be a premium here, meaning that like if you have one token today on Ethereum, you'll get more than one token on the mainnet, and we'll kind of talk through those parameters and dynamics in more detail next week. But that's just generally, so like you're going to get something out of it. I think everyone will be pretty excited about what we're proposing from that perspective. And obviously the reason that we want to do that is because we are going to be diluting the token in a not insignificant way, because we have to issue new supply to manage the new requirements of a Cosmos proof of stake layer 1 blockchain. So there will be inflation. It will have an uncapped supply from that perspective. But there will be managed inflation. We're not going to go crazy. And again, we'll walk you through all this stuff. So we're going to be basically minting a new Genesis supply in the mainnet. A portion of that will be for the upgrade for the Ohm holders on the existing chain tokens. There'll be tokens that are going into airdrops. I'll talk a little bit more about this in terms of some of the projects that we're looking at for Ohm airdrops within the Cosmos ecosystem and NFT ecosystems that we're excited about. There will be some, what's it called? There'll be some assets and tokens left for future fundraising, because there are people who are very interested in Ohm tokens in terms of fundraising at the moment, and we're also going to have revested incentives for community and for other team members to build over the long term. So we're long term in this. We want to make sure everyone has a long term incentive to be an Ohm builder, community member, and holder and staker. So hopefully that gives some general idea. We'll basically be proposing this upgraded tokenomics next week. So we'll be sharing that with you guys, and you guys will be able to vote on it and make sure that you actually feel comfortable with it. Obviously, we welcome feedback at all times, but I think you guys will appreciate and value what we're going to be sharing with you guys next week. Let's see. So yeah, okay. So next week I mentioned we're going to be sharing this proposal. That'll go for a DAO proposal once we get a little bit of feedback. I expect that it'll do pretty well on the face. We are then, and we've actually already begun talking to exchanges about how this would work. So many of the exchanges that Ohm on Ethereum and BNB and BSC is listed on are already very excited about the mainnet Ohm token. And the one good thing about making Ohm the mainnet token is we won't have to relist on exchanges. So it's a good thing to be able to have a layer 1 chain token on major exchanges from day one effectively, which is really exciting. And I think something that shouldn't be understated, particularly given the exchanges that we're listed on. I won't go into naming them, but anyway. Speaking of exchanges, we did actually just get listed on Indodax, which is Indonesia's largest crypto exchange. They are listed. They listed Ohm against the Indonesian rupiah, so you can actually have fiat integrations and fiat on and off ramping on Indodax if you're an Indonesian, and we definitely have Indonesian community. So I think that's a pretty exciting thing. They're a big exchange in Indonesia with millions of users. That's pretty awesome. They just listed us. We didn't even know that they're doing it until one of our community members told us about it. Okay, Chloe had a question about the timelines being considered for implementation of the upgrade. So initially, we were actually going to be launching Mantra Chain with the AUM token much sooner and earlier in the year. But because of this migration and upgrade, we need to obviously liaise with exchanges, and we need to basically really, really heavily build out the ecosystem in terms of dApps being built on the chain, migrating some of our existing dApp infrastructure onto the mainnet as well. But first will be a testnet. So testnet's going to be coming out later in this quarter, testnet phase 2. Testnet phase 1 has just recently concluded. Phase two will effectively be for various different dApps that we're going to be building in the ecosystem across a number of different primitives, tokenization protocols, DEXs, lending and borrowing, other core infrastructure. We already have a bunch of dApps that we're working with to build on the chain, and we're looking forward to seeing the kind of the metrics that come out of that, in the coming months. And then we'll look to go into mainnet post audits, post opening the code base and making it open source so everyone can see, and just really getting the proper traction that we want to achieve. And I will say, one thing that is also exciting, in my opinion, about the fact that effectively the mainnet token will have an existing live token when we're going through this whole kind of hype building, narrative creation, and go to market process. And obviously putting significant resources into marketing the stuff that we've been building for some time. We'll have really solid products behind the scenes, but we'll also have the marketing machine really turned on, which we haven't done in a while. Now we have a lot of really cool stuff to talk about, so we want the world and the community to know about it. But the good thing about that is that as we announce these things, as we build hype, there's actual relevant ability to have price action because of token trades. And it's not like we're just shouting into the wind and nothing happens, because if you don't have a token live, what's that going to do? You're just talking about it. Obviously it builds hype, but it won't actually drive price action. So obviously this is not financial advice. I always have to say that, NFA, but there is absolutely some benefit to having that. And we're definitely excited about that fact, and something that I think the community will be excited about too. What else? Okay, so let me see if I can get a couple questions here, because there are some questions before I keep going. Let's see. So Web3 wizards, parliamentary transparency and justice community regarding the process and challenge of integrating RWAs. I mean, we are a very transparent project, I would say. Obviously, the community who's been OGs, Sherpas from day one know me, that I've been around for a while. I'm constantly front and center talking to you guys. I was talking to one community member, like, we haven't been perfect. Building crypto is hard. Building anything is hard. And, we own up to our mistakes when they happen. We try to always do right by our community, and building that trust with you guys over the years. We've been here, we're going on 4 years now. So that's a long time in crypto, and, we're just getting started. In my opinion, we're going to continue building Mantra for 4, 14, 40 years to come, however long it takes. But we're still excited about what we're doing. We wake up every day and it's like a joy to build what we're doing and working with the community. So as long as we have that belief and passion, then I think it's something that we'll transparently communicate with you guys. And it's something that hopefully you guys believe in and trust and value. Let's see. So, Mana Maurice, are there any specific eligibility criteria for applying for a loan with Mantra Finance? We don't necessarily have a lending protocol live on Mantra Finance yet, so maybe we can answer that in the future, and not necessarily sure that we will even have one that we operate ourselves. Art Love Mallorca, you're always around. Good to see you, man. Uzumaki, any airdrop after mainnet? Yes, actually, just next on the list. So we will be doing an airdrop to relevant community members and projects that we're excited about. So the two kind of considerations are, one, like token projects that we're working within the Cosmos ecosystem primarily, as well as other NFT projects. So I've already kind of put this out on X or on Twitter. We are obviously dropping to Bad Kids. Bad Kids is like the OG Cosmos community NFT project, basically the CryptoPunks of Cosmos. So we are definitely dropping to Cosmos Bad Kid NFT holders. I'm not going to say financial advice on that one either, but that is a fact. We haven't taken a snapshot yet, so you still have time to go get one if you're interested in getting some airdrop from it. And also, I just think Bad Kids are legitimate, like their most legit project in Cosmos from an NFT perspective. And there might be a few other ones that we're looking at from that side. So not just Cosmos NFT projects. There's a few other ones that we highly value and we'll be definitely considering in the future. We also have Mantra has an Atom node. Like Cosmos Hub Atom node. We will be dropping to that node as well. So if you're a staker there, we'll be dropping to those, and as well as other Atom stakers, but definitely heavily on the MantraDAO Atom node. Obviously going to be working with other relevant Cosmos projects. I won't drop names because we're working on partnerships with them, but some of the big ones, you can just kind of imagine what those would be. And then again, as I mentioned, relevant NFT projects. Let's see what else. Tokenization potential. So yeah, so I think someone had asked a question about what types of assets can we tokenize and how will we do it? And we have a lot of different projects in the pipeline that we're going to be tokenizing, and there's some pretty interesting ones. Some of the ones that we believe will be interesting for us, particularly based off of the region that we're working in, meaning in Hong Kong and the UAE primarily. There's a lot of interesting potential for tokenization of things such as real estate. We're working on a pretty interesting first test case of real estate tokenization for some luxury apartments, for some corporate real estate developments, a bunch of different stuff, and a pretty significant value. So we'll have some pretty decent TVL in terms of tokenized assets very, very early on, and we're pretty excited about sharing that with you. It's also going to potentially be in collaboration with some big players, including financial institutions in the various places that we're operating. So I won't say any more than that, but that's like in the works. What else? Actually, like private market funds, meaning like VC private equity funds. We are definitely going to be tokenizing exposure, LP exposure to these type of instruments. These are something that particularly for retail investors, it's very hard to get access to, like tokenizing a KKR fund, and then being able to trade it as a retail investor would be a very novel thing. I mean, even myself, I don't have like LP interest in KKR or BlackRock or some of these other things. So you can have some pretty interesting ideas about what you can actually tokenize from a fund perspective. Thank you, Artlof Mallorca. I appreciate that. It is a little bit distracting. And yeah, so that would be definitely one of interest. Art is another one. So we're talking with some really very interesting big name artists that again in the works. I won't give too much, but tokenized art is a particularly interesting idea, just because you can fractionalize. Kind of like think about like Masterworks. A lot of people are familiar with the idea of Masterworks. So fractionalized real estate, fractionalized art, such as like Picasso's or other types of very rare art where you'd never be able to buy the whole thing, as most average individuals would never be able to touch that. But in this case, we could own the actual underlying piece, tokenize it, and you could get exposure to that, which would be pretty cool. What else? Yeah, collectibles. I mean, like things like art, or watches or whatever. I think people have been doing that. It's an interesting idea. So I believe that you can basically tokenize anything. And because of that, we want to be a place where you can tokenize anything that you want, trade it in a safe, compliant, and on-chain way, and be able to leverage that because of the tokenization part of the actual asset itself, and be able to do much more functional and composable things with it. So Artlof Mallorca, RWA with Mantra or Soma. So I'm specifically talking about Mantra right now. Soma is going to be also tokenizing assets. Soma has that unique licensing in the United States, where we can tokenize, or we plan to tokenize, I should say. I need to be very careful what I say in terms of Soma because of Commissioner Gensler and those guys potentially listening in. We will and plan to, once we have the relevant approvals, to tokenize things like U.S. public equities, treasuries, things of this nature on the Soma platform. We also do and have interesting plans to integrate Soma with the Mantra chain, because obviously we're launching it on Ethereum, and there's a lot of drawbacks of building on Ethereum mainnet from a scalability and cost perspective for users. Mantra chain alleviates that. Don't tokenize corporate real estate or commercial real estate. Well, I think the ones that we're talking about, you'll think are interesting, but also the partners that we're also thinking of and working with, from a commercial and corporate real estate perspective. I don't know if you would say don't tokenize it, but anyway, that's a longer term play. Let's see. What other questions? How does the team plan to implement the transition of Ohm to become the Mantra L1 token? I did talk a little bit about that. As I mentioned, we'll be launching the tokenomics that you guys can check out and finalize and give feedback on next week. So make sure to do that. And again, we welcome discussions on that piece. And definitely look for some feedback because we are needing the community's input on this stuff. Let's see what else. I mean, that's been a lot. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Hopefully that's been interesting and not too boring. You guys have any other additional questions? Also happy to stick around and answer some questions as well. Angela has a good one. Will be any new utilities or features introduced for Ohm holders with this transition? Well, obviously with Mantra currently being an Ethereum or EVM compatible Mantra get dApp token effectively, it's effectively linked to the governance of the DAO. You can do staking and things of this nature, but that's effectively what it is, and what is capped at as a utility token for an app. The chain will obviously open up a lot of other potential in terms of what we can do with the Ohm token. Obviously, the main one that everyone is aware of would be paying for gas in Ohm. We want to make everything that we build on a product level super functional. So Ohm will be one of the gas tokens that we can pay with. We're also in exploring being able to pay with Atom, because obviously we're a Cosmos chain. We want to support that. And we're also very open to the idea of paying with stablecoins, such as USDC. Obviously, Noble is the native USDC on Cosmos. We're looking forward to potentially partnering with them to bring native USDC on Cosmos to our ecosystem as well. And actually, speaking of USDC and Cosmos, like one of the things that we're definitely inspired by is DYDX, where DYDX effectively had or uses USDC to incentivize staking validators. So, we obviously will not be able to do that in day one because you can just incentivize network security with token inflation for validators effectively. But over time, as the protocol and the business generates more and more revenue, we do foresee a time when we would transition into like validator rewards effectively be paid natively in USDC rather than in staking rewards in our native token Ohm. Let's see. So, any burning of Ohm in the pipeline? I'm I'm not and have never been a fan of burning tokens, but I do believe that it's extremely important to remove them from supply and find ways and methods to make them deflationary, whether that's through token sinks, like different areas to remove them from the circulation, get them out of the way from people to be able to trade, use, or sell. That's a pretty important thing for us and definitely something that we've really heavily looked into. There will be some mechanisms for similar things, but not necessarily like burning as in taking them away from ever being created again. What factors contributed to the overwhelming support for the DAO's proposal? I mean, I think the community just wants it. Like, it definitely benefits the Ohm holders who've been holding, for years now through a a bull market, then a very long bear market, and then starting to have a little bit of tailwinds again. So of course the community is excited. This is going to make Ohm the front and center of the community. It's going to make Ohm the main thing where we put our focus in terms of value accrual, economic substance, and development, and really what we're going to spread to hopefully all reaches of the world, with our marketing and our distribution. Let's see what else. There's a lot of questions. You guys are asking good ones. I'll do a couple more and then I'll call it. I'm starting to lose my voice. Let's see. What specific changes are expected to be made to the roadmap following the DAO proposal? Well, I mean, obviously the main stuff is focused on tokenomic upgrades, and I do think it does have a little bit of a change and a shift in focus of what we are going to be primarily, launching, and what we're focusing on in the immediate term. what is this? Will the token be dumbed again like 3 years ago? Is it dumb from team and dev? I don't know what that means. Anyway, yeah, obviously we're focusing on the chain number one in its development, and everything is going to go focus into that for the foreseeable future. In the background, we are continuing to build our exchange product, which is Mantra Finance. We're seeking the relevant licensing there. We're building up a pipeline of assets to tokenize um, that you guys will be interested to trade on the exchange platform. So there's going to be some exciting stuff happening so that by the time the chain is launched, it's fully fledged in mainnet. It'll be integrated on major exchanges. We're gonna have new markets for you guys to trade on, even potentially even like perps markets and things. That's something that's brewing potentially. We're gonna have the ability to have the chain fully fledged and in the eyes and getting the mind share of the broader crypto community, and then we'll be able to launch a really solid exchange, on-chain exchange that will have all these different types of assets to trade and utilize. James asked which exchanges. Are you asking which exchanges it's on now or which exchanges it's going to be on? I cannot tell you what it's going to be on, but we have some in mind that we want to be working with in the future. And where it's on right now would be majors including Binance, OKX, KuCoin, Gate, Ascendex, etc. And like I mentioned, we just got listed on Indodex for Indonesians. There's a few others that are interested in listing us at the moment as well. So anywho, I think that's been really good. Let me see if I got anything else on my agenda for today. Yeah, I mean, next steps, we got the proposal coming out after Chinese New Year. So Chinese New Year starts on Saturday here in China and Hong Kong. So for all of the people celebrating Gong Hei Fat Choi, get your red packets and your lyces and have a happy Chinese New Year with your family and friends. Team's going to be working behind the scenes, and we're really excited about what's coming in the next few months. A lot of stuff going to be announced in March, particularly in the end of Feb. So tokenomics upgrade and the kind of the mainnet chain integration coming immediately, and then we're really looking to start building the ecosystem, launching new stuff, and getting the community involved on how we're building stuff. So partnership with Nike? No, we don't have a partnership with Nike, not yet. That'd be a good one though. I like that. And then August, phase 2, we're planning to launch probably next month. Yeah, it's February now, so most likely looking for March. We are doing some new audits as well, so we're working with a few different audit firms for the chain. And as I mentioned previously, we're going to be doing a full open sourcing of the code base. New partners, we got a ton of them. I won't go and start naming them now because obviously that takes away the excitement. So, anywho, I think this has been good. We'll definitely do another one of these relatively soon. I know we have some AMAs getting planned coming up with various exchanges and other different communities. So keep on the lookout for that. If you haven't already, join our Telegram, join our Discord, and follow our socials. One thing to mention is we are using one unified social now on Twitter or X. So make sure to follow the mantra_chain account, which is the main chain, the main Twitter handle. We also just launched on Farcaster. So Farcaster is the decentralized social media platform. So go check that out too if you're on Farcaster. It's a new platform, which is pretty cool so far. I've been checking out this week. Anyway, appreciate the time, guys. It's nearly 11 here, so I'm got a little bit more work to do before bed, and then I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for the time. Thanks for the great questions, the excitement, and thanks for whoever was able to ban some of those guys who were fudding. But never a dull day. You always got to have some fudders when you get on a live stream. So anywho, appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you all for the support. It's been awesome, and we're excited about what's coming and excited to share them with you guys soon. So thank you. Peace. I think I gotta shut this down. How do I even do it? Leave